Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by open fields and dusty roads, there lived an old woman everyone lovingly called Grandma Mira. She was small and gentle, with silver hair and soft wrinkles that told a lifetime of stories. But her eyes, bright, warm, and full of kindness, were what people remembered most. No matter how hard life became, she always greeted everyone with a peaceful smile. She lived alone in a tiny cottage beneath a giant banyan tree. Her husband had passed away years ago. She had no children, and yet she never once complained. Every day she sat under that tree, listening to people's troubles and offering comfort with just her presence. Life in the village wasn't easy. Farmers worried about rain, carpenters hoped for work, and families tried to survive with whatever little they had. When sickness came or crops failed, fear spread quickly. People often felt overwhelmed and hopeless. One afternoon, a young mother named Rada came rushing to Grandma Mira, tears running down her face. She dropped to her knees and cried, "I don't know what to do. My husband went to the city to find work, but he hasn't sent any money. My children are hungry. I'm scared, Grandma. I'm so scared." Grandma Mira held her hand gently and said, "Sit with me, child. Tell me, what do you think will happen?" Rada wiped her eyes and whispered, "I feel like something bad is coming. What if he doesn't find work? What if he forgets about us?" The old woman shook her head softly. "My dear, when we feed our minds with fear, our hearts grow heavier. But when we choose good thoughts, hopeful thoughts, our hearts grow stronger. How can I think good thoughts when everything feels so bad?" Rada asked. Grandma Mira smiled, her eyes sparkling. "Let me tell you a story," she began. "There was once a poor man who believed he had nothing, no money, no family, no hope. He sat by a river crying. An old woman walked up to him and asked, 'Why are you crying, child?' He said, 'Because I have nothing.' She looked at him kindly and said, 'Look again. You have the river that never stops flowing. You have the trees giving you shade. You have the sun warming your skin. Life is full of gifts. If you only focus on what you lack, you will always be unhappy. But if you focus on what you have, your heart will find peace." The man listened. Slowly, he lifted his head and looked around. For the first time, he noticed the beauty that had always been there. And from that day on, his life began to change, not because magic arrived, but because his mindset did. Grandma Mira looked at Rada gently. You see, life didn't change for that man. He changed. When we think positively, we invite strength, hope, and opportunity into our lives. Rada asked quietly, "Can thinking good thoughts really change my life?" "Yes," the old woman said. "Every morning, wake up and tell yourself, today will be a good day. You'll find strength you didn't know you had. You'll care for your children with hope instead of fear. And you'll wait for your husband with faith, not worry." Rada took a deep breath and nodded. "I'll try." Days passed. Every morning she whispered to herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked hard, cared for her children, and held on to hope even when things were tough. And then something incredible happened. A letter arrived. Her husband had found a job in the city. He was sending money home. He will be returning soon. Overwhelmed with joy, Rada ran straight to Grandma Mira, laughing and crying at the same time. "You were right. Good things did come." The old woman smiled warmly. "My dear, problems will always come. But when we face them with a hopeful heart, we become stronger than the problems themselves." Word spread through the village about Grandma Mira's simple yet powerful wisdom. More and more people came to her not for miracles, but for the strength to believe again. And her message was always the same. Think good thoughts, and good will follow. Little by little, the village began to change, not because life suddenly became easy, but because the people learned to face their struggles with courage and hope. Grandma Mira had taught them something priceless. The power of positive thinking that doesn't ignore problems, but helps you rise above them.